Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show that covers all things marketing. The GSMC Marketing News Podcast gives you the latest marketing news, from what major businesses have planned for the coming year to the newest trends in advertising, from podcasts, digital and streaming, to the old standbys of radio, television, and billboards. Whether you're a marketing agent or a business trying to expand your brand, you've come to the right place. The GSMC Marketing News Podcast starts now.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the GSMC Marketing Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mackenzie, and today is sort of a part 3, although it's not a full series, guys, but we are talking about quarantine marketing and how you can keep your business going during the coronavirus pandemic. It is a part 3 technically because we have done 2 other episodes where we talked about what is happening in our world and how some companies are dealing with it. But on today's episode, I really want to talk about how you can deal with it. So I have 10 ideas of how you can keep your marketing going, how you can keep your marketing strong during this really, really crazy time. So get your pen and paper out, everybody, because we are brainstorming, we are working, and we are all in this together because I believe that your marketing, your company, and your business can survive during this time where I know a lot of people, the morale's down right now, a lot of companies are cutting back, but trust me, there is a light at the end of this tunnel, and we are going to get through it together. And again, I like to start every episode like this now, just for the past little while. Thank you to all of our first responders, doctors, nurses, anyone who is working on those front lines to take care of us during this trying time. We really appreciate it. You are the true heroes, and really, really thank you. So on today's episode, let's start out by talking about what is new in the marketing world. So our first story of today is that Amazon is suspending their marketing deals with digital media firms. Amazon has temporarily halted their marketing deals with digital media firms such as BuzzFeed. Amazon isn't the only company that is reviewing its spending on marketing deals with digital marketing companies, however. Walmart has also suspended their deals with similar organizations to BuzzFeed. This is obviously a very impactful story, especially right now, because, like I said, a lot of companies are struggling. A lot of companies are taking a look at where they can cut costs, how they can cut costs fast, and they're looking for Band-Aids to the situation. And the truth is that there aren't Band-Aids to this situation. We really are all just sort of guessing as to what is going to help, what is going to make the biggest difference. And seeing Amazon do this, seeing Walmart do this, it obviously does impact us because they're huge companies. They're impacting a lot of people. We depend on them in a lot of different ways. So it's a very interesting story, but I would really love to hear your thoughts on this and what you think will be cut next. Obviously, marketing is unfortunately one of the ones that is always the first to go. I don't believe that is right. I don't know if it is for every company. It really does depend. So please let me know in the review down below or reach out through social media. We're very active on Twitter, and we really love having conversations with you guys over there. So head over there if you have thoughts, if you have opinions on this story, because I would really love to hear what you have to say about it. Our second story is that Disney has pulled Artemis Fowl from their theatrical release and will now debut on Disney+. Disney's newest film, Artemis Fowl, was supposed to be released on May 29th, just in time for the summer blockbuster season. However, in light of the current climate, Disney has decided to pull the film from theaters and instead debut it on their new streaming service, Disney+. Ricky Stardust, who is the president of content and marketing at Disney+, said in a statement, "With audiences largely unable to attend theaters in the current environment, we are thrilled to offer the premiere of Artemis Fowl on Disney+. He continued to say that director Kenneth Branagh and his spectacular cast take viewers right into the vibrant fantasy world of the beloved book, which fans have been waiting to see brought to life on screen for years. It is a great family entertainment that is the perfect addition to Disney Plus's summer lineup." This isn't the only film being added to Disney Plus's summer lineup. Pixar's Onward is now available on the platform after only 1 month since its theatrical release. Disney has also set new dates for several other films, including Mulan, Jungle Cruise, and Black Widow. Black Widow's delayed release will also cause a ripple effect for other MCU Phase 4 films that were supposed to be released after the May film release of Black Widow. So obviously a lot of films being affected by the coronavirus, and it's not just Disney. A lot of movie entertainment conglomerates are deciding to shift days around just so that the films really can get the audiences they deserve. I really admire the fact that Disney Plus isn't halting Artemis Fowl's release and instead of moving it over to Disney Plus. I think that is a great move on their marketing department. I think it is a great idea. Right now we're all stuck inside, so the more content Disney Plus can push out, the better, and putting a movie that was supposed to have a theatrical release on a digital platform is obviously something we haven't seen a lot of on streaming services, but I do think that is where we're headed in the future. Not that theaters won't exist anymore, but I do think places like Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, and Netflix are going to be the place where we see the latest and greatest films. So it's very interesting to see that Artemis Fowl will be coming onto the Disney Plus roster soon, and I, for one, can't wait to see it. And I think Disney Plus's marketing is really staying up and current due to the current climate, so bravo to them. What do you think of Disney Plus pulling the theatrical release of Artemis Fowl and instead releasing it on Disney Plus as well? What do you think of these other films being shifted around because of the current climate? Are there any films that you were really excited to see that unfortunately now will not be coming out to theaters anytime soon? Something that's really interesting is Marvel films always have a habit of being released near my birthday. My birthday is May 8th, and Black Widow was supposed to be released on May 1st. So it will be very interesting to see an MCU film be released in probably November, if not January and December. So we will have to wait and see for that one. However, I do think this is the correct move for a lot of companies right now, so I do admire the fact that Disney Plus is owning up to it, but they are trying to find a solution to the problem. Our third news story of today is that Tiger King will be coming out with more episodes on Netflix, according to Jeff Lowe and Justin Turner, who both starred in the documentary series. So Netflix is releasing an extra episode of the hit documentary series next week, according to the Zoo owner, Jeff Lowe, from the show. Justin Turner, also from the hit documentary series, confirmed that the new episodes were coming in this tweet. He said, "Breaking news, folks. There will be one more episode of Tiger King on Netflix." Tiger King premiered on Netflix on March 20th and has become many people's latest TV fixation. No doubt due to the fact that everyone is stuck inside of their homes during the coronavirus quarantine. The series follows the strange exploits of private zoo owner Jeff Exotic, who runs a zoo full of hundreds of tigers and other rare animals. At the end of the series, he ends up in jail serving a 22-year sentence for animal abuse and plotting to carry out a murder-for-hire plot against his fellow big cat owner rival, Carol Baskin. The show has received many amazing ratings, becoming the most popular show on TV, according to Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes also gave it a 97% critics rating and a 96% audience score. It was also number 1 on Netflix's top 10 shows list and has stuck around on the rankings for nearly 2 weeks. It is unclear if the new episode will pick up where the series ended or if it will be more of a reunion-style episode. I, for one, am super excited. I just started watching Tiger King last night, so I'm a little bit behind on the trend, but I'm excited as a fan, but also I was excited from a marketing perspective because I really did just say the other day to my roommate, I don't understand why Netflix right now isn't pumping out more content. We're all stuck inside of our homes. There's obviously been a very big debate over the past few months as to who's going to win, Netflix or Disney Plus. So I was like, come on, Netflix, this is your time to shine. Step up, give us the content we want, pump it out. A lot of their shows have also obviously been delayed in their filming due to the coronavirus pandemic. A really good example of it is Glow, which was supposed to come out with his last season. But in my mind, I'm like, hey guys, let's do like a behind-the-scenes tour of the Glow set, or let's do Glow bloopers, or behind-the-scenes interviews, and just all that content that you think they would already have filmed and ready to go for the series finale that's coming soon. If they had all that now, pump it out now, make people interested now, keep people entertained. And that is exactly what they're doing, but they're doing it with Tiger King. And it's really interesting to see that they are bringing back more episodes. They clearly understand the level of fame and attention that Tiger King has given them over the past few weeks since it was released. And I gotta say, it is kind of incredible how this show has completely taken over the internet. Basically, you can open up your phone and you can either see an article about the coronavirus or you can see an article about Tiger King. There is no more in between. That is all we get to see on social media now. So really interesting, really great and creative marketing strategy, but also just as a fan of the show, I'm very excited for this. Are you excited for this? Let me know in the review down below or reach out through social media. Okay, everyone, we're going to go ahead and take a short break from the podcast, but when we come back, we're going to get right into the top 5 ideas of how you can keep your content going during quarantine, and then we do have 10 for you, so don't worry, but we're just going to start it off with 5 so I don't overwhelm you with all these ideas. So stay tuned for that, because you are listening to the GSMC Marketing Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mackenzie Jaquish, and I'll be right back.
Golden State Media Concepts Technology Podcast covers everything tech. The hottest mobile phones, tablets, games. We review it, rate it, test it. Whether you're Microsoft or Apple, Android or iPhone, we'll give it to you black and white. The Golden State Media Concepts Technology Podcast.
Everyone, and welcome back to the GSMC Marketing Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mackenzie Jaquish, and on today's episode, we are talking about how you can keep your content going during the quarantine pandemic. Now, obviously, there are horrible, awful, and terrible things happening in the world right now, and it can be overwhelming, and I'm sure a lot of people have horrible anxiety over this, as do I, and a lot of people are having to deal with medical bills, or maybe you have to deal with the fact that you still have to go to work and you feel unsafe, or you're living with someone who you don't feel safe being quarantined with. So obviously there are a lot of issues going on right now, but I also know that there are a lot of issues going on right now with people who want to keep their small business going, who want to keep things moving, and they want to keep pushing themselves and their marketing so that when this is all over, they're not left with nothing. They're not left with what their entire life was. So if you run a small business and it's struggling right now, my heart goes out to you. Hopefully these ideas will help you, but also write in the review down below what your small business is. Tell the audience, connect with us, because I'm sure there are so many people that are looking for small businesses to shop with right now, and I'm one of them. So write it in the review down below, tweet us on social media, because I really want to hear from you guys about what your problems are, if I can help in any way, even if that just means buying something from your small business. So now, this is one of the ways I can help, but I'm going to give you the top 5 ideas of how you can keep your marketing going during quarantine. Number 1, an indoor photo shoot. So if you really want to get into details about how you can pull off an indoor photo shoot, I actually did an entire podcast episode on that idea a few episodes ago, so you can go check that out if you want. But here are some of the highlights. Sheets, towels, shower curtains, comforters can all be used as backdrops for your photo. So if you're sick of taking the photo in front of the same wall that you've always taken in front of, you don't want to sit on your couch anymore, and you've always wanted that professional photography look, throw up your shower curtain. In fact, actually, if you have one of those showers that has like the long rail across it that you hang your shower curtain on, this is a great opportunity for you to throw sheets over that, or comforters, or towels, or curtains from your windows. And then, honestly, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. The lighting's always better in the bathroom. So host a little photo shoot in your bathroom, hang up some backdrops, and you're going to really get that nice, clean, and professional look that you want. Number 2, if you feel uncomfortable, you might be doing something right. I know that sounds really weird and not something you would ever hear from someone giving you tips on how to do an indoor photo shoot, but the best example I can give is there's something called peacock neck, which basically you think of a peacock and you copy their neck movement, or an ostrich. That's a really great way to put it too. Basically, you like stick your head out, you twist your neck, and you like elongate your neck. And that's going to feel really uncomfortable, but you're going to look comfortable in the photo, and you're going to look really good in the photo. So it's a bit of a two-headed sword there, because you want to be comfortable, you want to look comfortable in the photo, but that sometimes means getting in uncomfortable positions to do that. Tip number 3, get weird with your props. Fruit, pillows, liquor bottles, shampoo bottles, a blow dryer. I challenge everyone listening to this podcast to use a weird prop in an unusual way, or use a normal prop in an unusual way. Make the banana your cell phone. Make your empty liquor bottles into lights. Whatever you want to do, get creative, have fun with it, and mix things up. It's going to make your photo stand out more on social media. You're going to feel a little bit silly, but that's going to make some really good photos, and you're going to be really glad you did it. Number 4, go out on your deck or your roof or a sidewalk. Get outside and take some photos. I know we really can't leave our general area, but you can go on your deck. You can go on your roof if you live in a condo, or just out onto the sidewalk for like 10 minutes to take a photo. You're going to feel better because you got to go outside. You're going to have some really nice photos. And honestly, fresh air never hurt anyone. Tip number 5. Play some music and run around like you're a little scamp. I was reading Anna Kendrick's book recently, and she said that when she does photo shoots, she does not feel comfortable because she is not a professional model. So she usually just runs around and tries to have fun with it. And that's what I want you guys to do too. Have fun. Play your music. Get groovy with it. And just let your body and your mind and the photo take itself. However, you actually can't take the photo yourself, so I recommend using a timer or some sort of Bluetooth shutter. Another really great idea is get your roommate to take it. That's what I do. All right, the second idea for keeping your content going while you're in quarantine is to engage with your audience. We always want you to be engaging with your audience. This is not something that is news to you. However, a lot of the time you might throw up an Instagram poll, but then you're running out, or you're working on other stuff and you're busy, so you don't really have time to actually answer or engage with the poll. Guess what, kid? You've got time now. So put up that poll. Do a live. Do a Q&A video. Create a user-generated contest for your audience. Now is the perfect time for you to really dive into your audience and get to know them and engage with them, because they're also bored. They're also sitting at home wondering what they should be doing with their time. So why not throw them a bone, have them ask you questions on a Facebook Live, have them send in questions for a Q&A video, or ask them all to create a new logo design for you, and you'll pick the best one at the end of the week. If you can make your audience engage with you and you're engaging back, that is going to be so great for you when this all ends, and it's going to be so great for you right now because it's giving you content, it's giving you an audience, and it's giving you people who want to interact with your brand. The third tip is to plan that big event you've always wanted to. So eventually the world is going to come back to normal. And when it does, it'll be the perfect time to throw that event you've always wanted to throw, because everyone will be looking for something to do. So make it fun and plan out all of the details you've ever really wanted to plan. Get in there, get specific, get weird with it. because the more fun you can have with it, the more fun the event will be. However, I do recommend only spend 1 hour of a day working on this every day. Otherwise, you'll get drained and it'll feel more like a chore than a fun activity. Number 4, time to get artsy. This is the perfect time to test out your graphic design skills. You can start small, maybe just make a poster for your live video you'll be doing later in the week. Remember that Google is your best friend. Also, YouTube videos. If you have a question about how to work Lightroom or Photoshop, Google it, YouTube video it, call up your friend from college who took graphic design. Right now is the perfect time to learn a new skill, so why not get artsy and learn how to be your own graphic designer? Don't be afraid of people's criticism with this, though. People are going to comment things on your first design that you're going to take to heart. Don't take it to heart. It is not your baby. It is your practice baby. It is your first pancake. And if you work hard, it will pay off, and eventually you'll be making perfect pancakes. But you cannot be afraid of people's criticism because, unfortunately, if they don't like it, they don't like it, and you need to try again. Tip number 5, go through your books and find ways to cut costs. So this is definitely the less fun option, but it is the smartest option. If you've been putting off going through your books, then now is the perfect time to do it because you have a lot of time to do it. This is another one where you will want to start small and only work on it for like 1 hour a day. Otherwise, you'll become drained and overwhelmed by the numbers. And I want to stress this, find ways to cut costs that don't ruin other people's livelihood or their income. So get creative, really spend some time going through your books and finding creative ways to cut costs. And maybe it's something so small that you didn't even realize because you never spend time going through your books. Maybe there's an old Facebook ad that is still up and running that is totally draining your wallet. Cut that out. Maybe cut out all Facebook ads. This is the perfect time for you to go through your books and really truly understand where your money is going and how it is being spent. Okay, everyone, we are going to go ahead and take a short break from the podcast. But when we come back, I have 5 more tips for everyone. So get your pen and paper back out because we will be diving right back in. This is the GSMC Marketing Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mackenzie Jakewish, and I'll be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the GSMC Marketing Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mackenzie Jakewish, and on today's episode, we are talking about how you can keep your marketing going during this quarantine. Now, this quarantine, I think, has taken a toll on all of us in a very different way, but I saw a post today that actually made me feel really good about marketing, actually, as weird as that sounds. It was a small business owner. She promotes herself really, really well online, and she simply asked, what is your favorite part about getting to work from home? because I think that's something that a lot of us actually haven't considered, because it almost seems crazy, like this is something we're forced to do. There's nothing good about it. But I'll be the first to say, you know what's really nice? I don't have to commute anymore. I used to take an hour commute to the office every morning and an hour back. I get an extra hour of sleep, guys. It is glorious. So I challenge all of you now. I'm going to steal her idea, but write in the review down below, what's the one thing that is kind of nice about having to stay at home? Obviously, there are not a lot of nice things in the world right now, so why don't we spread a little joy and write it in the review down below. Now, before the break, we were talking about the top 5 ways for you to keep your content and keep your marketing going during the coronavirus pandemic of 2019 to 2020. So let's just quickly go over them, and we'll dive into the other 5. Number 1, an indoor photo shoot. Number 2, engage with your audience. Number 3, plan that big event. Number 4, get artsy with it. And number 5, go through your books and find creative ways to cut costs. Now, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you need a better explanation, you need more details, please reach out to me on social media. I can be reached on the GSMC Twitter. I can be reached on my own Twitter. You can reach me through the reviews. If you have questions, if you just need someone to brainstorm with, don't be afraid to ask me. I'm also doing quarantine, guys. I'm currently in my washroom recording this podcast, so if you want someone to talk to, I'm here. But for now, let's get right back into our top 10 list with number 6. It is time for you to take on a big project. Start that YouTube channel. Start a podcast. Write your book or plan the event we talked about before. We all have that dream project. We all have that thing that we would love to do if we just had the time. Well, guess what? I'm giving you the time right now. I am giving you permission to start that YouTube channel, start your podcast, write the book, and plan the event. Because if not now, then when? I want you to get as creative as your mind, body, and soul will allow you. No restrictions, no guilt, nothing matters. Nothing is holding you back anymore. Are you afraid people are going to make fun of you if you try? Guess what? They can't see you right now. They can't see you trying and failing. You don't have to start your YouTube channel and then have to go to a family dinner on Friday and have your sister ask, what the hell was that you posted on social media? You don't have to do any of that because you're in quarantine and so are they. So go big or go home, although you're already home, and start that big project that you've always wanted to do. Number 7, review your data and find ways to improve. So I know this is very similar to reviewing your books, but you should go through your data and start analyzing those numbers all the same. Ask yourself these questions. Where are you succeeding online? What area could you use more work? What has been the biggest waste of money? What has been the best bang for your buck? These questions will work as guideposts for how you should be reviewing your data online and also how you can be improving your data numbers online. Again, really spend 1 to 2 hours on this a day. Do not get overwhelmed by it because you have so much time to go over it that trying to take it all on one day is just going to give you a stress headache, and nobody wants those. Number 8, get ahead. We all have those annoying tasks that we hate doing, but we all know what they would make our lives so much easier if we just had the time to do them. Well, now guess what, girl? You have the time, so get to work. Plan out your content ahead of time. Create your marketing strategy. Seek an outsider's opinion on your social media feed. Of course, practicing social distancing, ask them online, send them an email. Try out new things with your social media feed. Maybe you want to try switching aesthetics. Maybe you want to do a poll question on your feed rather than on your story. Maybe you want to advertise more of a certain kind of product on Instagram that you've never tried before. Now is really the time to test things out and get a little crazy with it. And finally, try networking with other companies online and through social media. Again, please, please, please practice social distancing. Emails, FaceTime, phone calls, they're your best friend right now, so stick to those. Number 9, update your website. So make sure that it is easy for your customers to connect with you online. You might not be able to meet with your engineer or your tech person, whoever put your website together, but pull them up on FaceTime and have them go through the entire site with you. This way you can ensure that all of your customers are able to connect with you online in the easiest possible way. They can order your products online without any sort of hassle. You should also consider having corona-friendly information on your website. Consider asking yourself, what am I doing to help my customers right now? Whatever your answer is, write it down, make it look pretty, and then slap it on your website. Because people want to know that you're suffering too. As crazy as that sounds, people want to know that you're working hard and that you're trying, but you're working hard for them. You're trying for them. That is all people want to see right now. So if you can tell them that, it's going to comfort them. And finally, number 10, keep getting dressed every morning. If you want to keep your marketing going from inside quarantine, then you need to keep showing up during quarantine. Get up, get dressed, designate a working area, and get to work. Okay, everyone, that is it for today's episode. I hope you really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed recording it, even though I am sitting on a towel in front of a bathtub recording this podcast. Not an enjoyable time, but show me some love, and please subscribe to the podcast, follow us on social media, and let me know your thoughts in the review down below. I'm your host, Mackenzie Jaquish, and this has been the GSMC Marketing Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mackenzie Jaquish, and I'll see you next time.
You've been listening to the GSMC Marketing News Podcast, part of the GSMC Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcasts on SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to any podcast app, and you'll find all of the shows from the GSMC Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, from business news to weird news, you'll find it all on the GSMC Podcast Network. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.